Hi guys, welcome back to Getting Better by Accident podcast. Talking about how to be a good training partner and what that means. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts. So, Johnny, what does being a good training partner mean to you?
Not being a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going through. What constitutes a good training partner? I would say is straight off the bat playing the game.
Yeah.
And actively going into jiu-jitsu positions, submission grappling positions. If you're kind of, and I spoke about this to Ant when I first joined Hive, was if you're stripping grips really hard. Not talking about the gi, talking no gi. But even in the gi as well, if you're, the round starts and you're stripping grips really hard, if you're pushing in the face, you're not being a good training partner. If you're kind of working your guard passing, being technical, that constitutes a good training partner for me. Intensity around 70 to 90 for me. I think if you're going above 90, lower the intensity down quite a bit to start with.
Yeah. No, fair. Like you touched on like quite a few of the key points for me there. It's playing the game. Because, like I say, having that training partner who's just constantly disengaging and not wanting to play jiu-jitsu when that's what we're here for is really frustrating. Also, like sometimes when they tap too early, so
straight in the deep end.
yeah, straight in it. Like, so I'm not talking if you're having a fast-paced round and someone throws an armbar on quickly and you tap in before they can extend it. Like that's different to you're working with somebody, you trust them, and you know they're not going to rip something on, and you're doing yourself a disservice a little bit there as well because you're not seeing where. I always be careful where I say this one, but like you're not testing your own limits of your submissions. So
do you mean just giving up early and kind of
taking
the easy way out?
So like with an armbar, like I know if we're rolling, if you've got my arm fully extended, you know it's fully extended. Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to
take it home.
So I'm trying to break that bastard.
But it's like we both know I'm going to tap at some point. Like we both know it's on, but I will still try and work out of that submission. No, because I trust you that you're not going to think about it because it gives you, okay, where's he going to go if he does roll out of this? So you get the defensive and feedback reactions. I also get to know, okay, I should tap at this point in competition because I'm fucked. But if I'm in a different position, I might have a bit more time in competition, so I know where I'm at with it. Like I say, you do have to be selective with your training partners for that thing. But yeah, tapping too early can sometimes be a bit of a hindrance.
Yeah. And applying submissions aggressively.
Yeah.
Which ties into that definitely. If you're kind of attacking your training partners, ripping submissions on, then you're not allowing them to work out of those positions, putting them at risk of serious injury, and no one wants to train with those types of people. We know who they are if you're watching, but all gyms have them, unfortunately. Just try and approach it with them. Try and say, look, calm down a little bit. I've got work in the morning. We're not professional athletes.
Yeah.
And any other topics you can think of?
For me,
off your head,
actually allowing your training partners to get deep in position on you as well. So fighting the need to win sometimes. So some like being a good training partner. Like we're talking about rounds at the moment, but like it does translate to when you're drilling and you're working on things. But like having to win all the time, again inhibits your progress, but also can inhibit your training partner's progress, especially if they're less experienced than you. Because if they want to improve their guard passing and you're not maybe playing that game with them, then how are they going to get better at that? And how are you going to work guard retention if you're constantly smashing your training partners? You're not really being a good training partner. There's time for it, obviously. Like I'm not saying let them fucking run all over you, but it shouldn't be every single round that you're having with the less experienced players that you're beating piss out of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, anything else you add to that?
Yeah, I think, to touch on your point about not trying to win is really important. Like, if you're just trying to win, what's on the clock, if you like, it's a 5-minute round. You can feel it in training partners when they want to win, like at all costs. You can feel it as you tap hands. Like, who are you training with? Have that in your mind. Like, as a brown belt myself, if I'm training with a white belt that's 70 kilos piss wet, I'm not blast double legging him and holding him in side control for 5 minutes. I'm going to start on bottom. And to be honest, I start on bottom 99.9% of the time against everyone, because that's just what you do. You play jiu-jitsu. If you're standing, you give them exchanges, you give them collar ties, you take an over tie club, you try to foot trip them, you play the game. If you're someone listening to this and you're like, well, I never start on bottom because I want to win, well, great. What happens when you get put on your back? You don't have a guard. So try it. Start on bottom. Every time you come in the gym and you start around, you'll notice the people that start on the knees and just go, oh, I want to start on top. They won't say it, but they're like, oh no, I'm not getting on the bottom.
Yeah.
And you get on the bottom and you'll see his ego doesn't want to start on his back.
No.
You'll end up sweeping more people and you'll progress quicker.
100%.
Starting on your back.
And like, just on the back of that as well, like, we've got it's almost like an unwritten rule now in the club where if you want to start on top, or both players want to start on top, you both start standing. Like, if you want to start on top and both of you want to start on top, you've got to earn that. And again, that's not maybe not tying into being a good training partner, but that could be a good rule for you to have in your rounds if you've got a training partner who you both argue over who starts on bottom, who starts on top. Both start standing, both earn it.
Yeah, there's a problem there. I think if you're arguing about who's on bottom and who's on top, some deep down issues they've got there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. But like I say, just work on your wrestling if that's the case. Another one for being a good training partner is paying attention. So this, like, I've got no issue with repeating like instructions and stuff when I'm doing demos and that. I don't want to be doing it after I finish demoing and I've asked if there's any more questions. We'll save that one for actually, no, that might come in later actually, but yeah, like, just paying attention. So like, I don't want to be going back through a demo after I've finished demoing, asked if there's any more questions, and then you go back to your group and you've not been paying attention. So now your training partner's got to fill you in on what's going on. And not only that, like, paying attention to maybe the rules of the game. And when you are drilling, whether you're in a club that does cold drilling or whether you're a club that does game-based stuff, like, actually engage. Be a good body. Don't just sit there like a wet fucking fish and expect your partner to work around you and give them no physical feedback. Like, which is why, like, I've noticed a lot more success when we have like the game-based stuff now here. But then ecological, it's like just by no means, it's just fucking grappling. Like, we do both drilling and ecological style. Both of them are fucking have the merits. That's a bit of discussion for another day, that as well, I reckon. But yeah, like, actually giving your partners the live physical feedback during the drilling rounds, and giving them proper resistance during the game-based rounds as well. So if the coach has said, here's what the defending player can do, stick to them rules.
I think just a last point to bring up there is, if you're a guard player, don't always play guard. And if you're a wrestler and you only want to wrestle, don't just wrestle. If you're going against a training partner that likes to play guard with him. Don't be like, oh no, you got to start standing. And same vice versa. If you got a training partner that wants to start standing, you don't be like, no, I'm starting on the ground. Because be a good training partner and do both. be good everywhere.
Let's say you're going to expand your skill set, they're going to expand their skill set. If you made it this far, make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know if you're a good training partner or not.